Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another insightful episode of Campus Connect, brought to you by Study in Asia. I'm your host, Mathieu Rosales, and we're continuing our journey of exploring premier educational institutions across Asia. So, to those who are new, or to maybe those who need a quick refresher, right? What is Study in Asia? Study in Asia is a tech-powered platform that connects students with leading universities across Asia, equipping agents with powerful resources such as AI-driven program matching and comprehensive application tools. So, right, as a college student myself, reflecting on my own journey through college applications, I can vividly recall, just how stressful college applications was. Mainly also due to my narrow focus on just studying in the United States, right? I was very tunnel vision at the time, and I just wish I had known about the excellent and affordable options available right here in Asia. So that's why today we'll be exploring the University of Reading Malaysia, which is a prestigious UK branch campus located in EduCity, Iskandar Puteri, Johor. So joining us is Ms. Betty Go, the Regional Manager of International Recruitments at University of Reading Malaysia. So welcome, Ms. Betty. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you so much for inviting us today. It's our pleasure to be interviewed by the Study in Asia.
Thank you so much. So basically, for our webinar, we'll just quickly go over the academics, right? Campus life, and other important things agents and international students must know, right? So let's first tackle academics, right? So University of Reading Malaysia offers a variety of internationally recognized programs. So could you maybe highlight some popular courses among international students and just explain what exactly their appeal is?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Matthew, for the first question. Yeah, University of Reading Malaysia, basically, it's a branch campus of University of Reading, UK. So that is made us very special because students who study in Malaysia, in University of Reading, they are actually getting a UK degree. Hence, a lot of international, they will actually come in because of affordability. Number two is because they are actually getting a UK degree. In University of Reading Malaysia, basically we have 7 undergraduate program and 1 foundation program. So we cater to a number of, I would say, to a lot of international students who are actually would like to spend, cost saving as well as getting a UK degree. Because today's students who graduate from University of Reading, basically they are actually getting a certificate from the UK. It's issued by the UK, and there is sometimes students will ask, would the certificate says University of Reading Malaysia or University of Reading UK? No. It's actually basically from the UK, and we are actually ranked top 20% in the world for the past 10 years.
Wow.
Yes. So basically, with that 7 undergraduate program, we have business course, we have law, we have psychology, as well as quantity surveying. If you're asking me which are the program that most of the international students coming in, I would say law, business as well. Yeah, and then psychology, because our psychology student will have an optional whether they want to do 3 years or 4 years. Basically, 4 years is with placement, and our law program student can actually complete their study 3 years in Malaysia, and then they actually go to the UK to do their bar exam and training. So yeah, they don't have to 2 years in Malaysia and then go to UK, must go to the UK to finish the final year, and then in order for them to get a bar exam. Another specialty about University of Reading Malaysia, it's students have the flexibility to transfer. The beauty of this, student can actually complete 4 years here, 3 years or 4 years in Malaysia, if they don't want to go to the UK. But if let's say they have an intention to go to the UK, then they have options to study 1 year in Malaysia, 2 years in the UK, or 2 years in Malaysia and then final year in the UK. Yeah.
I see. So yeah, from my understanding, right, these programs are delivered exactly the same as the UK campus, correct?
Correct. It's an identical program. So whatever that you study here, it will be the same in the UK. It's just that maybe certain program we need to incorporate in Malaysia's system. For example, law. So students will have the opportunity to study UK law. At the same time, they will also study Malaysia legal system law.
So they get the best of both.
Yes, correct.
So if they wanted to practice law in Malaysia, they could. And if they wanted to practice law in the UK, they could as well.
Yes.
Okay. Now I see the appeal of the law program. Okay.
Yeah. Same goes to quantity surveying, because they will study the UK system as well as Malaysia, because we incorporate in, because our quantity surveying, we are actually recognized by the 4 bodies like RICS from the UK, CIOB from the UK, BQSM is from Malaysia, and then we have PAQS, it's recognized by the ASEAN country. And student can actually practice in Australia, Singapore, New Zealand, UK. Yeah, that is the beauty of our program. And not to forget about our psychology. A lot of students will ask us whether is it recognized by the British Psychological Society. Yes, it is recognized.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. Wow. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I definitely can see the appeal.
Yeah.
So besides that, which is a very unique academic strength of University of Reading, could you maybe name some other strengths or unique opportunities you feel that set University of Reading, Malaysia apart from other campuses or other universities in Malaysia or just in Asia in general?
I would say that because of our locations, number one, beside the program, identical, beside of the flexibilities as well as the certificates conferred by the UK, I would say the location itself that we are located at southern part of Malaysia. It's just like 40 minutes away from Singapore Changi Airport, and sometimes and then it's also next to the first Asia Legoland, which is located in Iskandar Puteri. So that is the beauty of it. Beside studies, student will have leisure to go to the Legoland or to the Singapore. It's just that during the first time, student will have to travel from their home country to Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and then travel by domestic flight to come to Johor Bahru within 1 hour. So of course, beside that, we do have like the sports facilities. We have the sports complex whereby students will have the opportunity. They can actually walk to the sports complex anytime they want because it's given to the students the facilities. It's the Olympic size of facilities. Yeah, like 2024 when the Olympics started, a lot of Olympians actually practice their skill there. They use the facilities there. So it's a very unique location. And with that, Iskandar Puteri, or we call it EduCity, we're not just the only university, UK university in that EduCity. There are few UK university as well as Singapore University and Malaysia University. So students will have the kind of education hub communities.
They can easily make connections with students from other universities as well. Because it's all in the general area.
Yes. And students, in terms of the accommodation wise, we do have accommodation which is just 10 minutes walking distance. And that accommodation allows students to mingle around with other university students as well, because it is not just by the University of Reading. It's actually shared among the other university of students. So because of the other program that catered by other university, they don't cater somehow like our program, because some is actually focused on engineering, some is focused on medical courses, and some is art and design. And University of Reading, we are focuses on business and social science and humanities.
I see. Yeah. So during their student college life, they can easily make connections with students taking up other courses. So like if they say they wanted to know a potential future engineer, right? It's just all in the general area.
Correct.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's quite a kind of different kind of setup compared to other university that you only surround by your own university students.
Yes. I see. Okay, interesting. So yeah, that actually connects to my next question, right? So we were mentioning about EduCity, right, and just how it's the general hub. As a college student myself, right, I know that university life goes beyond academics, and I just simply cannot stress enough how important college life is to students as well, right? And this includes campus amenities.
Yes.
Right? From what I've seen, and from what maybe the viewers can see above on screen, EduCity seems to offer impressive facilities, right? Can you tell us more about what students can enjoy in terms of just in EduCity in general, as well as University of Reading's campus as well in general, like the amenities?
Okay. Of course, student will have, because with the EduCity landscape, student will have the I would say the facilities like it's just like, for example, across our university there is an EduCity hub. It's 24 hours facilities or food. I would say like McDonald's, cafe, 7-Elevens and an ATM. That is just across our university, that whereby all the university can allowed to go there. If let's say they want to get a quick bike or get a convenience store. If let's say student want to go out of EduCity, that means they go to eco botanics. We call it eco botanics. That is shopping complex is there. A lot of eateries is there, a lot of cafe, a lot of saloon, clinics, and it's also a private residency, which is a condominium style if students want to stay at that particular area, which is more convenient. But we do have a shuttle bus to bring them to Eco-Botanics, because that is where students get the grocery and then hangouts, especially during weekends. If not, they can actually go down to Johor Bahru City. It's just about 25 to 30 minutes away from Iskandar Puteri or EduCity. So I would say student life are not boring. It's just that maybe not as happening as Kuala Lumpur City, yeah. But students who really want to look into study, and then at the end of the day, I just want to graduate successfully and with the flying color, that would be the place for them to. I think most of the parents will like it. Even myself, when I'm there in the campus, it's very vibrant, as well as convenience for students who want to commute around using the shuttle bus. So yeah.
Right. So to clarify, the shuttle bus is free, right?
Right.
And is it for anyone in EduCity, or?
So long they are flashing their student ID, they can hop in. Not all. It's for all the students who are flashing the university cards. Like, for example, if you're studying University of Reading, you need to flash a card in order for you to hop into the bus.
Okay, that's an interesting system. So how does it work? Just like a regular bus? Are there specific times, or?
Oh, there will be a specific time. Like, we'll actually give the student a schedule, tell them what time to what time they will actually stop by in which stations. Yeah. So basically, when they arrive to that particular stop, they need to flash the card in order for them to hop in.
I see.
Most of the students within the EduCity, within the campus, they prefer to walk, unless they are actually going to Eco-Botanics. Then they will actually, or some other destination within Iskandar Puteri.
Right. Actually, yeah, that sort of connects to my next question, because I was going to ask about the accommodations itself. Like, what is the distance between University of Reading Malaysia and the typical accommodations around the area? Would you say it's like a few minutes walk? Do I need to take the bus? Or?
Yeah, I would say usual accommodation that student would normally their first choice is Hakor Village, used to call EduCity Village. They just changed their management in April. So I'm pretty sure for this time, management is very good, because they are actually from the hospitality group. So they are now doing upgrading and refurbishing. So that accommodation, Hakor Village, it's just 10 minutes walking distance.
I see. So 10 minutes walking distance. Okay, that's very nice to hear. Very convenient, right?
So that is one of the options. Another one, which is actually located at Eco-Botanics, we call it Eco-Nest. That is the one that I say 1 kilometer away by bus. So students are allowed to stay there if they prefer, because that one is actually a private residency, private condominium, whereby the third party actually take out a few floors to rent it to the students, or to, So it depends. Sometimes students don't prefer to stay so near. They will prefer to stay somewhere else. Definitely there will be accommodation available. But for international students, typically they will actually choose Hakor Village first.
First, for convenience, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Okay, and I see. For the bus, right? So they may use the Eco Bus freely to bring them to the university campus, correct?
Correct.
And to, I guess, any other locations, because you mentioned grocery earlier.
Yeah, that one is actually at the Eco-Botanics, which is also within the shuttle bus.
I see. So if ever students want to just go through their daily life, right, go grocery shopping, eat food, everything can be done through the bus.
Correct. Unless they want to go to the city, which is Johor Bahru City Center, then they have to take Grab, our transportation here. Yeah.
I see. Okay, interesting. So I also wanted to ask, practically speaking, right, could you maybe give prospective international students, or just students in general, right, an estimate of the living expenses there, and perhaps maybe share some tips for managing their budget effectively, if ever?
Okay, typically for international students, I would say typically for students around the globe, not just international, but to the domestic as well. We actually estimate around Ringgit Malaysia 1,005 to 2,000. That is depending on students' lifestyle. 1,005 is just average, like you can actually do your 3 meals, plus 1 supper, sometimes 4 meals. Then after that, a bit of a grocery, and you maybe, like, sometimes you want to dine in means you cook in, then that will be just enough, like manage to cover the whole month. But if you're a person who like a very high maintenance and then very high entertainment living style, then 1,500, I wouldn't say that would be enough. Usually I would tell students it's about 2,000. But because of our location is just next to Singapore, sometimes student tends to go to Singapore. And currency is may be different. So between 2,000 to 2,500 for students who really, typically go to the Singapore during weekend. 2,000 could be students who are highly maintenance, as in like always go to the cafe, movie, shopping, that will be, yeah. But average student who just go there to study, a very minimum spending, 1,500 is just nice. Yeah. 1,500, if let's say I will convert into US dollar.
I believe that is around $350.
Correct.
So, and then 2,000 would be reaching around $500. So yeah, that's still like relatively affordable for, right,
yes.
for 1 month.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
What about for,
sorry, that is just the living expense, excluding your accommodations, yeah? Accommodation range, now Hakko Village, the one that 10 minutes away, it's range from 550 to 1,008. Why there is such a big gap is because we are now converting certain floor into dormitory, and then few floor into apartment style. So when it comes to apartment style, it may be slightly higher. So range are between 550 to 1,008. That is the one that 10 minutes walking distance.
I see. Okay, that's still, yeah. Considering that it's only 10 minutes away, right? 550 is still incredibly affordable. That's like $100 a month, 150.
Correct.
No, that's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. So if you want to just taking an average, maybe 1,000, then you just divide it by US dollar. That means you are only paying less than 500. Yeah, less than 500 US dollar.
Yeah, you mentioned 1,000, right?
Yeah, 1,000 ringgit Malaysia.
Oh yeah, that's like half actually, 200, 250. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, correct. So if let's say you are really going to the max 1,008 ringgit Malaysia per month, it's 400 US dollar.
Wow.
Yes, so it's really affordable for students who coming here in terms of their living expenses and as well as the accommodations. Now, that is for the living expenses and accommodations. If let's say we are taking average, how should I say? Let me just see. Because students sometimes they'll ask, hey, if let's say I'm studying 3 years, what is the total price? So if let's say students are taking we are taking the 3 years program. If cost of living, it's about 45,000 ringgit Malaysia for 3 years. That is using 1,500 per month, yeah. So it's about 10,000 US dollar. Right.
Around, I believe so.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's wow.
Yeah,
that's for the entire.
Yeah, that is just the cost of living.
Amazing.
Yes. So, and even for the tuition fee, 3 years, it's about 31,000 US dollar.
Okay, wow. So, and that's for everything already. So you're okay. That's
If I were to total up the tuition fee, because our tuition fee is the two of the program, like business school and law, it's 48,000 ringgit Malaysia per year, which is equivalent to US dollar 10,400 plus. And then our psychology as well as quantity surveying, it's about 45,800 plus. It's also like a 9,000 each. So if I were to use the highest, which is 10,000, 3 years program, it's equivalent to 31,300 plus your living expenses. Total up, it's 41,000 plus your accommodation. But 50,000 US dollar is just more than enough for you to study in Malaysia, getting UK degree. And if you want to transfer, you can actually transfer during your final year. You will get by default 20% discount to go to the yes. Yeah, all this price is excluding. If you are good in your academic, you will actually get an opportunity to get a scholarship. So all this is excluding scholarship. By default, transferring the 20% discount. All this.
I see. Okay. Wow. So I definitely see the appeal, right? So not only is it incredibly affordable, right? You have access to a UK degree, and if you're taking up law or other specific courses, right? You can tackle those courses in both the UK and in Malaysia.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
So it's very appealing to a lot of our international students. Hence, that is the reason why now we are starting to be active in our international space.
I see. Okay. No, it does make perfect sense. Right. So So now since we're talking about, like, I guess, international, right? So I know a lot of these international students are coming to Malaysia for the first time.
Mhm.
So, what would you suggest are some popular activities or must-see places for students to do, right? So yeah, like earlier you mentioned Legoland, which yeah, I've been to myself before and it was great.
Okay, great. If let's say you're talking about in Johor itself, usually we will talk about Legoland, and then we'll talk about the water park. One of the biggest water park is actually located in Johor Bahru, and then JPO, the premium outlet. So a lot of daily mummy would like to go there. That is, yeah. And then those who are actually like football, basically Johor is one of the famous or successful state of a footballer. Okay, and then yeah, another one which is go to Singapore. Now, the interesting part for students who are very adventurous, usually they will actually drive down to Kuala Lumpur, which is about 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, so when they drive, they can actually pass by Putrajaya, which is our government administrative locations. We call it Putrajaya, and there's a lot of attractions or tourist places, Instagrammable place, and then Malacca. Malacca is one of our historical state. A lot of tourists will be going there, and then you'll pass by. After Malacca, you will actually heading down to Kuala Lumpur. Now, Kuala Lumpur, basically, we have Twin Tower, we have a lot of attraction in Kuala Lumpur. Hence, a lot of students, they will actually do this kind of journey during their long break or during a long weekend. Like this week, we are having a long weekend. I'm sure a lot of students were actually going out either to Singapore or going to Kuala Lumpur or to other states as well, because there is a highway connecting from Johor Bahru all the way to the north, and they want to go to Thailand. It's just cross the border. So Malaysia, Malaysia basically I would say there is 3 borders through Malaysia next to it. One is Johor to Singapore, one is from northern to Thailand, and then another one is to Indonesia from the east side. So it's kind of like because we're Southeast Asia and it's very near. And okay, I forgot about another one which is also going to Philippines. It's also in So yeah, that is the unique part of it. And sometimes students during the long break, like a summer break, they will actually flew to East Malaysia, the Borneo side. So within Malaysia itself, it's very interesting. It's just like the UK. You can actually hop one state to another state, going to the Europe by train or by car. Yeah, in Malaysia, we have 14 states and students have that kind of adventures to go around. So there are a lot of attractions. And another point that I would like to bring out is whoever come to Malaysia, they will fall in love with it because of our food.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, reason why I say so because there's a lot of cuisine. We not just, like for example, we have Indonesia, Philippines, North Indian, South Indian, we have Western, Mexican, Italian, Japanese, Korean. So yeah, it's spoiled with food. Yes.
Oh wow! Just the thought is making you hungry already.
Correct. So there's so many things. There's so many attractions, not just about the study. However, of course, I don't deny that Malaysia is very rich with our transnational educations, because so far we have about 10 branch campus university in Malaysia. 5 are UK, and then 3 are Australia, and plus the others like China, all this. So because of our curriculum are actually taught in English medium, so students don't have the challenge whether they need to study extra language in order for them to come into the university.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah.
That will sounds like you also want to come here and study?
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually, if I wasn't about to graduate, I feel like well, I'm in my head. I was thinking, wow, like easy access to like I feel like I'd never get bored there, right? Like there's too much to do, right? And I'm personally a big fan of theme parks, right? So I can easily just go to Legoland, the biggest water park, which I also have been to, and wow, it's huge, right? And it's fantastic going there during the summer because it's so hot, right? And then you're being splashed with all this cold water. Oh, amazing, right?
Yes.
And yeah, can I like? Let's say I'm on like a 1-week break, right? How easy would it be for me to go to like, let's say Universal Studios Singapore?
You can just hop in by bus or by car. It's just like the other day, one of my partner, she actually took a Grab from campus to Singapore. It took her about 35 minutes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fast. Wow.
Yes,
that easy.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's very easy. And good thing about Johor and Singapore is because we are now very actively signing up or working very closely with Singapore. Like recently, we have signed up like special economic zone with Singapore. Coming up will be 2026. We will have a high-speed train between Johor and Singapore.
Oh,
So without the high-speed train by bus or by car, it's 30 minutes during non-peak season, non-peak hour. If let's say during peak hour, like maybe morning, early in the morning, because there is a lot of people commute between Johor and Singapore to work. So sometimes it may take up to 1 hour. During holiday, it may take up to 1.5 hours. So high-speed train will actually reduce a lot of their times. And
right.
it's like can cater up to 10,000 passenger per hour.
Wow, that's amazing. So like, let's say if I had like a 1 day break, right? And I wanted to go to Universal Studios, I could leave in the morning, come back at night, that easy.
yes, that is a beauty of the location that we are located. And we also in the thought of having a high-speed train between Johor Bahru to Kuala Lumpur, meaning students who can actually use the high-speed train to Johor Bahru, and then from there they connect to Singapore. So it's very accessible between all the states.
No, I can imagine a lot of students like just love that, right? Like they go hang out with their friends, they're discussing their plans. It's like, oh, let's go to Universal Studios this Saturday. And boom, they're there. Just that simple, that easy.
Yeah. So that is the beauty of locations for those students who like adventurers, like to visiting around, and it's very accessible. Like for example, in our Senai Airport, they do have a direct flight to Indonesia Surabaya and Jakarta. Mm-hmm.
So okay, wow.
If let's say they want to visit the neighbor.
Right. Like they can really just go anywhere, and that's like what I previously mentioned, right? Like you can never really get bored because there's just too much to do.
Right. Yes.
Right? So yeah, to those who who need a break from academics, maybe just for a bit, you'll never really get bored.
It's just like US. I mean, like what you say just now is study in US, and then just like in US, usually they will take a ride from one state to another state. But it's a huge distance. Here it's still okay, like 3-4 hours. Certain state it will take up to 7 hours. Yeah.
But like still, yeah, fairly reasonable, right? Okay, so that's good to hear. So thank you for telling me all about, I guess, the area, right? These are all things I've never heard or learned before. So yeah, it was very insightful. And I'm sure a lot of the students watching now are very like, whoa, I can do all this just for that easily, right? So I can, I bet it definitely sounds very appealing. So now let's focus, to you interested students, let's focus on the admission side, right? So of course you want to know how it works before getting there. So could you maybe guide these prospective students through the application process and just maybe highlight the important intake periods and deadlines?
Yeah, so for international students, we have 2 intakes. The major intake usually is in September, which is coming up. September 22nd is our commencement date. And then for international students, we'll advise them to apply 2 months before. Like, for example, our September intake, students need to apply before 18th of July. Yeah, because the reason why they need to apply earlier, because there will be a visa application process involved. Usually, a visa application will take up about 4 to 6 weeks. Hence, our application deadline will close earlier for international students. Application is very easy. Study Asia will actually assist you in terms of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, to those interested, right? The entire application process, the Study in Asia platform can guide you throughout that entire process, right? So to agents. Oh yeah, sorry. Continue, please.
Yeah, sorry. Once they apply, then once they get an offer, they need to make a deposit payment of 2,000. From there, student will actually expecting an email from our international officer for visa applications. So in terms of visa, student don't have to worry, and we are actually make sure that student will need to submit the required document. And of course, with Study Asia in help, they will make sure that you guys submit all the required documents.
So to those interested, please just check out the Study in Asia website for more, right? Our website gives you access to all the tools you need and all the info you need as well with the application process, and contains the list of all the programs available. So on to my next question, right? So could you maybe explain also the foundation pathways available to students who don't immediately qualify for direct entry into undergraduate programs?
Yes, correct. Like, for example, some country, they may use IGCSE O-level. That means they will actually entering into our foundation years. Our foundation years basically is 1-year program. And with that 1-year program, we don't divide our international foundation program into like a foundation in arts, foundation in science, or foundation in computing. We only have one foundation. We call it International Foundation Program. It's a 12 months program. It's also identical to the UK. Today, if you study here in Malaysia, and it's also a UK Reading Campus International Foundation Program. That will allow you to venture into law, business, as well as psychology or QS. Okay, there will be a prerequisite requirement. Oh yeah, I also need to mention is prerequisite requirement for those students who want to do business. They will need to have credit in their mathematics in order for them to either study foundation, then venture into business program. For psychology, they need to have maths and science to be credits. Yeah.
I see.
Sorry. So for our foundation program, usually it's also start in September and in March. Now, for undergraduate programs, September and May. So there's only 2 intakes for international students.
I see. Okay, so either September, March, or September, May.
Correct. And the fee for foundation is just 29,000 ringgit Malaysia, equivalent to 6,000, or to be exact, $7,000 US dollar. Yeah. For the foundation program, right, students are allowed to do 1 year in Malaysia, and then after that, they want to do their degree in the UK for the entire 3 years or 4 years, they are allowed to do so. Not necessarily they complete here, they have to do their program in Malaysia. So
yeah, it's all right. It's like, let's say they don't qualify for the UK, right? The UK, they may start with the foundation in Malaysia first and then move on to the UK. Okay, interesting.
They meet so long they meet the Malaysian qualifications. Yeah, because we are the branch campus, there are few criteria we need to adhere. Like for example, Malaysia, we need to adhere of our MQA, Malaysian Qualification Agency. Then we need to take into consideration of the UK campus. So sometimes certain program, our qualification may be slightly below than the UK, or sometimes we may be slightly higher than the UK.
I see. So, okay, thank you for that. Now I wanted to also ask about transfer students, right? So I wanted to know, does University of Reading Malaysia accept credits from other institutions? And, I just also want to ask how smooth, if ever, the transition process is.
Usually we do accept transfer students. It all depends on the assessment, because transfer students, like for example, they took diploma and then coming here, then we will need to do an assessment. Basically, program to program, direct program, like for example, business to business, it may be easier, but we'll still need to go through academic assessment, whether how many subjects can be transferred and whether they can actually enter into year 1 or year 2. So that will usually take up to 14 working days to 20 working days. It depends on how fast the student submit the documentations. Because for students who actually plan to do a transfer, we'll usually need their transcript, high school transcript, certificates, and then the course syllabus, the course outline itself. Yeah. And if students are coming in from another program to our program, which is not related, so it typically, I wouldn't say easily to transfer. It depends on what program they are looking at. Yeah, we do have like a student who are actually taking medical, would like to come into our psychology. So that will take a little bit of time, because certain subject maybe can be transferred, certain subject can't. So it's all depend on the from the academic tutor.
I see. Okay, makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So that concludes my questions with regards to application, right? So now I just wanted to move on to the opportunities for not only students, but agents as well, right? So yeah, could you maybe detail me with the employment and career opportunities available to students, both during their studies and after graduation?
Okay. Now, for students who are actually study here and they actually would like to have like a part-time job, for example, they are allowed to work maximum 20 hours per week during the semester break or holiday more than 7 days. There will be a specific job are not allowed, like for example, musicians, guest relations officer, they are not allowed to work, singer, they are not allowed to. So other than that, beside all these things they are allowed to do, it's just that they need to make sure it's 20 hours per week. That is during that, I would say that is a part-time job for those students who are looking for extra income. For those students who are looking into internship, for example, because not all our program has placement. So far, we have accounting and finance is a 4 years degree, which during the third year, they will be doing a placement. It's a 1-year placement. And this 1-year placement, the student will get paid, between Ringgit Malaysia 1,005 to 1,008 per month. And during the third year, they don't have to pay the full fees. They only pay 15% of the tuition fee. And then on top of that, they are getting paid per month. Now, our psychology program is also with or without placement. If students are going for placement, they will, depending on where they are working, because sometimes they will work with NGO, hence there will not be any paid. But if let's say they are looking for certain industry that they would like to work with, get paid typically maybe around 500 to 800 ringgit Malaysia. So that is also 1 year. Now, this actually allows students to get experience and build up their resume. Hence, it depends on student how keen they are to take the 4 years program. But accounting and finance is a must. Now, the rest of the program, which don't have the placement, student can actually apply for internship. This internship, they can actually do it during the summer break. Our students are very active. Certain students will actually work within Johor itself. Certain students will actually go back to the home country, like one of my students' law program. She took first internship in Johor. Second internship, she actually went back to Brunei to take the internship.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, sometimes students, they are very proactive because it's like a 3 months or 4 months. 3 months, I would say, then they will go back to their home country to do internship. So students allowed to search or do some research where they want to actually do the internship, discuss with the academic tutor to make sure that these are allowed to do so, and so that they can actually help the students to build their resume, to build their I would say their network. If let's say they can't, they can actually also look for our academic tutor or the school department. Where are the employer they can actually look for internship? Certain internship they will get paid, certain internship is not paid. So it's very much dependent. So basically, that is the placement, part-time job, as well as the internship. Now, student may ask us whether can we stay back in Malaysia to work after I graduate? I would say yes, to a certain extent, because not all country or not all nationality will have this opportunity. There will be a list of, I would say, nationality can be no. There will be a list of nationality allowed to stay back, which is like Japan, Brunei, Kuwait, Qatar, and then China, India, but that too will have additional requirement needed. The rest is like Singapore, South Korea, Germany. There will be a list which typical student can actually get it from our EMGS website. So who are those nationality can actually stay back? Yeah. So it's 1 year, but if let's say student can get an employer to sponsor that, that means they can actually stay back again extra time, longer to work in Malaysia.
Okay, I see. Okay, that's good to hear, right? So students can easily get an internship during their summer break, right? And they may take it either in Malaysia or back at their home country.
Right.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think that concludes most of my questions, right? So I have one last question for you, right? And this is specifically for our aged community, right? If you were to, like, let's say, give a pitch to them, right? Let's say they're trying to sell University of Reading Malaysia to a student. Could you summarize maybe the key reasons into a pitch on like why they should recommend University of Reading Malaysia to their students?
I think I have been talking about that since the beginning. My pitch: study in Malaysia, getting UK degree. That is my simple and
Number
easy.
one.
Number one, and it's affordable. So yeah, I think from all the information that I share, I think you know what is the reason behind it. A lot of students actually coming into Malaysia for University of Reading to study because of the flexibility, because of the UK degree, and cost effective. These are the three reasons.
So agents, you heard that. UK degree, of flexibility,
Yes.
and affordability. All right, keep those three words in mind. All right. So yeah, I believe that concludes our webinar. Right. So thank you so much once again, Miss Betty, for providing a very comprehensive overview of University of Reading Malaysia, as well as the vibrant student life there and just in the general area as well. Right. So yeah, thank you so much. I personally have definitely learned a lot.
Yes, I hope everyone get a very insightful information from me today. And we'll see you guys in University of Reading Malaysia then.
Yes, exactly. To our viewers, whether you're an agent, a prospective student, or just some random passerby, we hope that today's discussion clarified the exciting possibilities at University of Reading Malaysia. And to those who are still interested, because we've only touched the tip of the iceberg, right? There's still so much more to learn about University of Reading Malaysia. You may scan this QR code right here above. It will lead you to an international guide for University of Reading Malaysia. So yeah, please check it out. And don't forget to also visit the Study in Asia website for further details as well on University of Reading Malaysia's diverse programs, resources, and just the overall all the important info you must know. So yeah, once again, thank you so much again, Miss Betty, for your time. It was great. Thank you. So yeah, to our lovely guests, join us again next week as we continue uncovering Asia's educational gems. I'm Mathieu Rosales, and this has been Study in Asia Presents